So I started as a journalist way back in the day. I was editor of Next Generation magazine, which is an old video game magazine, and then I was launch editor of IGN.com a million years ago, and then I spent 10 years at an independent developer. Probably the biggest game we were known for that was original was Death Jr. At Foundation 9 and Digital Eclipse, I did everything from like level design, and when I left I was like the vice president of business development. And before joining Microsoft 3 years ago. I've always been a huge fan of XBLA. Like I love kind of short form game experiences. I knew some guys who had gone up to Microsoft who I'd previously worked with, and were like, you need to get up here, and so I was like, sweet. And so yeah, I worked on XBLA for 3 years, which was fantastic. So I was a portfolio director for Microsoft Studios, which is Microsoft's first party publisher, and so helping to find great games, find good developers, work with them, and then get the games out in a successful way. So I guess my title now is Director of ID at Xbox, which is the Xbox Independent Developers Self-Publishing Program.
ID at Xbox.
Yep.
Did you help develop the name for that?
The name was developed by a team. I was on the team. Basically what we're doing is we have put together a program that enables independent developers to self-publish digital games on Xbox One. So they get in touch with us. There's a process where they become kind of a registered developer for Xbox One. We make sure they get a couple dev kits at no charge, and then they're kind of off to the races. So registered developer just means that they have basically signed some forms and like gotten us to send them some dev kits. We're making the program available, and we're really excited about the games that developers are going to bring to us, right? And we're not out there saying like we're looking for this kind of game or that kind of game. We're saying like, hey, there's a lot of great ways onto Xbox, whether, as a developer, whether it's going through a third-party publisher or going through first-party Microsoft Studios, and now we're kind of offering a third way, which is, if you want, self-publishing. So we're not really dictating the games, but we're really excited to see what kind of games are going to come through the program. At the end of the day, we really are just excited about making sure that our players have access to tons of original content. So I think this is probably the best way to do it. There's a lot of reasons to still go with a publisher. I mean, I think self-publishing is a great option for a lot of developers, but going with a publisher, you can get financing, you can get quality assurance, you can get promotion and marketing. There's a lot of things you can get that for a certain kind of developer, they just want to be heads down, they want to focus on the game, and that's fantastic. To us, it's not about this is better or that's better. It's just about giving developers choices. So some developers are going to choose to go with a publisher, which is great. I hope they go with Microsoft Studios. And some developers are going to choose to go with themselves, in which case, like, I'm there and our program is there to help them get through onto the platform super successfully. I mean, the program is really all about getting original content onto Xbox. There's no like exclusivity provision, like it must be exclusive for X amount of time or that sort of thing. It's really, our focus is really just getting great original content, though. We think that, that's what players want, is original content, and we think that's what's going to kind of be the best for developers, to get original content out there. We went out and talked to more than 50 different developers kind of on a big listening tour over the last 6-8 months, and really talking to them about, hey, what do you want in a program? What's important to you just as a developer in general? And one of the big answers we got back was discoverability. It's just hugely important. And we think back to the way things went on the Xbox 360. We had a self-publishing platform called Xbox Live Indie Games, which was really cool. Some amazing games on XBLIG. But those games were in a separate marketplace, and we got some comments that, for casual players, it could be tough to find them. And so now on Xbox One, we really have this philosophical view that a game is a game is a game. And so all the games on the platform, whether they're developed by an independent developer and self-published or come through a publisher, are all going to be there together. And we have a huge array of different methods for people to discover them. Phil talked about some of them in the briefing, but like, whether it's, most popular or trending, there's ways you can see what your friends are playing and also sort of what your gaming community is playing that we think is going to be a really interesting way to surface content. We've also got game DVR and upload, so you can record some footage of yourself playing a game, put your own spin on it, upload it so your friends can see it. And we actually think that's going to be a great way for games to kind of spread virally too, just being able to physically see like what your friends are playing. When I think about Xbox One and kind of like all the different features we're offering, whether it's Kinect, Smart Glass, Game DVR, some of the stuff we're doing with cloud compute. There's just a ton of stuff you can do on Xbox One, even down to like the controller. I don't know if you've gotten to use the controller yet, but just the feedback on the triggers. There's so much you can like do with Xbox One that you can't do anywhere else. To me, it's just a really exciting, compelling development platform. I guess the final message for indie developers is you guys are great. please develop for Xbox One. Get in touch at id@xbox.com and let's talk about how to get you on the platform.